Get your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.
QuickBooks lets you create user accounts and passwords for the individuals that will access your company file. You can decide which types of activities users can perform and what areas of the application they can access. You can set up users by selecting Company from the menu bar, rolling down to the Set Up Users and Passwords command, and then choosing the Set Up Users command from the side menu that appears to open the User List dialog box. First, you will need to create a master user, usually called admin, that can access all of the areas of QuickBooks. That master user account can then create the other user accounts. You typically create the admin user account during the Easy Step interview. That is then the default user account for all activities that you perform within QuickBooks until you decide to create more user accounts. To create a new user after you are logged in as the admin user, simply click the Add User button in the User List dialog box to open the Set Up User Access and Password wizard. Type the username for the new user into the username field, and then type a password for the user into the password field. Reconfirm the password that you just typed by typing it again into the Confirm Password field, and then click the Next button to continue. On the next screen, you can set the user's access to all areas of QuickBooks, selected areas of QuickBooks, or External Accountant. If you choose either the All Areas of QuickBooks or the External Accountant option button, then you will simply click the Finish button that appears on the next screen to finish setting up the user after you click the Next button to continue. If you choose the Selected Areas of QuickBooks option button instead, then you will see the Sales and Accounts Receivable screen when you click the Next button to proceed. After making your choice, click the Next button to continue. If you chose the Selected Areas of QuickBooks option button on the previous screen, select the option button that corresponds to the type of access to give the user to Sales and Accounts Receivable, and then click the Next button to continue. In the Purchases and Accounts Payable screen, select the option that corresponds to the type of access to give the user to Purchases and Accounts Payable, and then click the Next button to continue. In the Checking and Credit Cards screen, select the option that corresponds to the type of access to give the user to checking and credit cards in the company file, and then click the Next button to continue. If inventory is enabled, then in the Inventory screen that appears, select the option that corresponds to the access to give the user to inventory, and then click the Next button to continue. If time tracking is enabled, then in the Time Tracking screen that appears, select the option that corresponds to the type of access to give the user to time tracking, and then click the Next button to continue. If Payroll is enabled, then in the Payroll and Employee screen, select the option that corresponds to the type of access to give the user to Payroll and Employees, and then click the Next button to continue. In the Sensitive Accounting Activities screen, select the option that corresponds to the type of access to give the user to Sensitive Accounting Activities, and then click Next to continue. In the Sensitive Financial Reporting Activities screen, select the option that corresponds to the type of access to give this user to Sensitive Financial Reporting, and then click the Next button to continue. In the Changing or Deleting Transactions screen, select whether to allow the user the ability to change or delete transactions by selecting the desired option button and then clicking the Next button to continue. You can then review the permissions that you have set for this user in the final screen and simply click the Finish button to add that user to your user list. You can also select a user account from the user list and then click the Edit User button to the right to change the security settings for the selected user by stepping through the same set of screens that you used to initially set the user's permissions. You can also select a user in the user list and then click the Delete User button to delete the user account. You will need to click Yes in the warning message box that appears to delete the selected user permanently. When you are finished with the user list dialog box, you can click the Close button within it to close it.
Like what you see? Pick up your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.